Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Claressa Shields lately has been saying that she wants to fight Savannah Marshall. And we've seen Claressa Shields out here, man, hitting this. They got that punching machine that all the boxers hit to measure their strength. So anyway, Claressa Shields, she goes and hits it, and looks like she hits harder than Anthony Joshua. If you go by the number the machine read was like over 900. So obviously, either she hits extremely hard now, or the machine has miscalculated her punching power. But nevertheless, ever since then, Claressa Shields has been saying that Savannah Marshall is afraid of her and doesn't want to fight her. Now Shields, who currently holds the WBC, the WBC, WBA, and IBF middleweight titles, is hoping to get the WBO championship from Savannah Marshall if they come together and fight. Now, I've done a couple videos on Savannah and Claressa Shields already. And I'm going to tell you, Claressa Shields is a monster, but so is Savannah. But when I look at it on paper and just look at Savannah's power, her reach, I think the fact that she's so quiet, and she can really box, and she does some things really, really well. And Claressa Shields is really not known for her power. But hey, if Tyson Fury hooked up with Sugar Hill and all of a sudden became this super power puncher, then why can't Claressa Shields? Because my understanding is she's been learning little tricks of the trade from Sugar Hill and learning that Kronk style and improving her power for this fight. Now, I read that on a couple articles, man, and if it's true, you know, some people say you can increase your punching power and become a devastating knockout artist. I think you can definitely get your weight behind the shots a lot better, improve your leverage. But if, you know, and some people would say this, if you're heavy-handed, you're heavy-handed. You can't train somebody to become heavy-handed, but you can improve their punching power. I believe that. But you just can't come and make somebody who's not heavy-handed, heavy-handed. But anyway, as far as Savannah Marshall and Claressa Shields, the fight's supposed to be, you know, close to being confirmed for July. So I'm not sure what the issue is, but Claressa Shields, maybe she's just talking and trying to hype up the fight. She's saying she doesn't think Savannah wants to fight, and she's not convinced that she wants to take part. And she goes on to say how she's fully prepared to win the fight, go to the UK. It's not a problem. She's going to go. She's going to clip her. She's going to show everybody that she's a different level. She's an animal. Savannah, don't be scared. And she says she's been telling people for years that Savannah's terrified of her. I don't necessarily believe Savannah's terrified of anyone. I just think what you're seeing here is she's naturally a quiet person, and she's not into, all the back and forth, all the banter and all the nonsense. She's not all about this. She's all about getting in the ring and letting her hands fly. And she doesn't mind a good dust up, man, and getting in there and cracking. So I think her kind of being reticent on this issue is just part of who she is. You're not going to get much out of her until it's like really fight night. And then, you know, it's like a different human being in there. It's like she goes from being this nice, kind, you know, polite, kind of gentle soul to this vicious, demonic, you know, barbarian, and whose mission is to knock her opponent out cold. But a lot of the feud goes back. I covered this in the video. They were in the Olympics in 2012. Marshall clipped Shields. Some people say it was a close fight. Some say it wasn't. I think people are biased when they talk about Shields and Savannah Marshall. I'm not. But anyway, it was the World Boxing Championships in 2012. And Marshall was the only competitor that beat Shields at any level of boxing. So she has every right to hold on to that. But there was a Korean guy who beat Roy Jones Jr. in the Olympics, and there was someone who beat Floyd Mayweather. And look what they went on to do. But then again, look at what Savannah Marshall has gone on to do, right? So that was the other side to the argument where somebody was trying to throw my way. And I was like, okay, I get you, but look at what Savannah Marshall has been able to do. So can't quite use the same comparisons, but I get it. But you can't quite throw Savannah Marshall in that bucket with the guy the Korean guy who beat Roy Jones, and the fella from somewhere out there in one of those stands who beat Floyd Mayweather. Like, you just can't do that, right? But anyway, she's hoping to get the fight going this summer. It's supposed to be. She's saying when she was 17 years old, she was a little girl. Look at where she is now, the different weight divisions and undisputed distinctions and all the championships she's won. She's saying there's nowhere in the world that's going to be anything like those Olympics. Things are different. She wants to get the fight going before the end of the year. And she's saying she has a robust schedule going into 2023 with MMA. And now she's talking about, and she's getting married. She's got a fiance. So Claressa Shields has a fiance, the Beyonce fiance. Man, you can't make this stuff up, man. I sit over here cracking up when I read all this, man. But anyway, man, Claressa, so-called Marshmallow Fist Shields, wants to smoke, man. She wants to fight Savannah. Savannah wants to fight too, but I think right now what you're seeing is just Savannah being Savannah. Very confident, very quiet, just who she is. But Claressa, that's her thing now. Don't be scared. Don't be scared. You talked yourself into a fight. You've been riding on my coattail for all these years. This is what Claressa Shields is saying. You built your career off my name. Now it's time to get in that ring in July. Don't be scared. But anyway, leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. I definitely don't think Savannah's going to be scared. I think Savannah, I think we're going to get a shocker, man. I think we're going to get a shocker. I like Claressa Shields. I like Savannah Marshall, but if Shields, if she can't discourage Savannah Marshall with her speed, her flurries, her combinations, her power, which people say she has no power, but you look at the knockout ratios, I mean, you got to go with Savannah on the power. But if she can't, create any kind of stress in that ring for Savannah Marshall, got to go with Savannah Marshall to win that fight. But Claressa Shields is extremely talented, and it's only 2-minute rounds. So I think this is going to boil down to that 2-minute round, because Claressa Shields will have energy for days, and so will Savannah Marshall. And it's just a matter of who can impose their will. And if Claressa Shields is having success, which I think Claressa Shields is going to have a lot of success with that speed and her movement, and what happens when she stops for that split second and has that lapse in judgment and Savannah catches her. Because Savannah sets traps. She does a lot of good things. Even when she's not doing anything, she's doing things in that ring. You got to give credit to Peter Fury. You got to give credit to a trainer. You got to give credit to, I said all this in another video. I'm not going to go out there and expound any further, but being around the Mayweather camp, she has a lot of experience, Olympics, amateur, same things that Shields has. So the one thing she has that Shields doesn't have is that extreme power. And the one thing Shields has that Marshall doesn't have is that blinding speed. And Marshall has decent speed, but not like Claressa Shields. We just have to be real. But I'm going to go ahead and, I don't like to pick, but like I said in other videos, I'm going to kind of give Marshall the advantage here. I just have a feeling, man, that if Shields can't keep her honest, it's gonna be a long night. And I hate for Claressa Shields to go back to her Beyonce fiance because they get married in 2024. Emotionally dejected and just feels sad and everything. And next thing you know, things in her personal life unravel. It'll be hard, I think, for Claressa Shields to take a loss. I think it's hard for any of these competitors to take a loss, but I just hate to see that. If anything, give them a draw, let them go to the next fight. I don't want to see it. But women's boxing is big, and hopefully, I already know they're not getting $1 million purses, but they're getting decent money. But after that, hopefully they can get the big money like Serrano and Katie Taylor, because Claressa Shields deserves it. She's done a lot, man. And Marshall is on her way, but Claressa Shields is just, she hasn't received the credit she deserves, man. Olympics, as a professional, it's just amazing. Amanda Serrano, seven different weight divisions. Pacquiao is the only one who's outdone her with 8. Girl getting paid $20,000. Finally getting her just due, but still not enough. It's sick when you look at the disparity in pay between women fighters and male fighters. So hopefully all these female fighters across the board can start getting the money they deserve. But going into this fight in July, if it happens, which I'm hoping it does, I can understand the argument Shields winning. I can understand the argument of Marshall winning. But I'm going to go ahead and say I think Marshall is just going to push through whatever Shields has, because those 2-minute rounds benefit both of them. I don't see it as a lose-lose for anybody. I think it's win-wins for both of them, but I think it's just the times, it's not enough time for Shields to do anything to really discourage Savannah Marshall. It's just maybe 3-minute rounds, maybe different, but I just don't think 2 minutes is enough time over 10 rounds or however many rounds they're fighting. I think they're both going to go every second of every round and just push forward, and, we'll see where the cards fall. But I'm going to go ahead and, go with Savannah Marshall for the shocking upset. But that being said, leave your comments below. And hey, Savannah, if you're watching this video, Claressa Shields says, don't be scared. Anyway, y'all keep cool. Appreciate the support. Like and subscribe. And as always, I'm in the breeze.